One of the most iconic of our gracious Majesty the Queen. But what does this hit Canadian rocker have to do with it? Hi, good morning, Neil Sean here in the very heart of London. Thanks for joining me today. Nice to have your company as always. Hope you're all keeping well. Bright and blustery here today in London. Know you like to be updated. Never a good day. You know, I was going to go out somewhere special today and go filming for you, but because we've now been forecast heavy rain, possible snow, I thought, what's the point? You want to see this in glorious sort of spring, summer sunshine. So we're going to sort of park that for a bit and come back to it shortly. Back as ever though to your breaking royal story of the day. This particular image of our gracious Majesty the Queen has been cited as one of her own personal favourites. And it's interesting, isn't it? Because the monarch has now been on the throne for 70 years. So many portraits, so many pictures, that sort of stuff. And when you think about it, it's one that literally took, well, minutes to put together and is one of her favourites and been voted one of the favourites by the great British public. And it was taken by none other than this man. We're talking, of course, about the Canadian superstar, Bryan Adams. Now, for so many generations, they know him for his wonderful hit music. I guess his most famous is the theme from Robin Hood, which starred Kevin Costner. It was over here on the United Kingdom charts for weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks, let me tell you. I like things like Summer of '69 and Run to You, and of course his duet with the ex-Spice Girl, Mel C. But this particular picture of our gracious Majesty the Queen, he was given literally a phone call because he is a celebrated photographer. And Brian told me this, that he didn't really have time to be nervous because it all happened so quickly. What happened, he was whisked down to Buckingham Palace where Her Majesty the Queen kindly gave him 15 minutes and he took this picture. Well, a series of pictures, but it was agreed on this particular snap that was the one that they felt represented Her Majesty way back in 2002. Now, because of course we're celebrating a wonderful time with the Platinum Jubilee looming, it now will be going back on display at various historic royal palaces. For Bryan Adams, the rock star, he told me he couldn't quite believe that he'd been asked to take the world's most famous woman. You can imagine though, can't you? Since then, of course, thanks to that portrait with our gracious Majesty the Queen, he has been snapping so many famous people along the way. In fact, we're in a snap together. Must dig that out for you. But for Bryan himself, he said he truly owes his association to Her Majesty because it really did kickstart his international photography career. So once again in this Platinum Jubilee year, Bryan Adams, another major Canadian rock superstar, has a lot to thank our gracious Majesty the Queen for. As ever, as we often say here on the show, long may she reign. Neil Sean in the very heart of London.